What I remember most about Dr. Dugal was his renowned statement, "Don't give me a poor radiograph to read. I'm going to make enough mistakes on my own. I don't need you to help me." At the end of the day, it was all about quality and perfection.
I'm Dr. James Dugal. I'm a radiologist, and I worked in the radiology department, of which I was chairman for, I think, 38 years. Our department was always one of the first departments in the area to have the different modalities. You see, when I first got here, we had X-ray, and then we added ultrasound, and then we added CT, and then we added MRI. Somewhere in there, we added nuclear medicine. And so it was like I stayed in school for 20-something years, you know, learning these new modalities so that we could interpret the films.
I met Dr. Dugal in 1997. Right away, I knew that Dr. Dugal would take me under his wing and be my mentor for the time that he was there.
When I first came to Opelousas, I was quite limited because we were limited to only plain films. But under Dr. Dugal's guidance, we were able to change that over the next several decades.
I feel like in my 25 years of practice, I know good medicine, and a lot of that comes from what I learned growing up and being around it. My dad loved being a physician. He loved Opelousas General, and I think if in 2024, if we were going to look at words and titles, I think my dad's title, the best one for him would be the brand ambassador for Opelousas General, because he loved how good the General was. He was determined and required the best of himself and those around him. And I think that meant the world to him, in that he could stand by what he did.
Dr. Dugal was highly respected by our medical staff. He knew the department, he knew the expectations for us as radiologists and physicians. He was definitely a pioneer in radiology.
He was constantly studying and growing and being innovative and bringing new things to the General.
Dr. Dugal was integral in getting free exams for qualifying female personnel at the hospital. After several weeks, we had found 2 early cancers that were stage 1 disease and cures. Mammography pretty much took off after that.
Opelousas General had ultrasound services before any of the area hospitals. In the mid-'80s, a new modality was introduced at Opelousas General called digital subtraction angiography. That year, the first year that we were open, we did 2,000 procedures just in digital angiography alone. Dr. Dugal was primarily responsible for that new modality that we had in imaging. When digital mammography was introduced at Opelousas General Hospital, it was the 3rd piece of equipment that was installed in the United States. I think that was a time when we realized that we had moved from a rural country hospital to a referral center.
Dr. Dugal was very instrumental in getting up-to-date equipment and kind of state-of-the-art equipment that was for Opelousas. There were many times that we would get equipment that was surpassing many of the communities locally, including Lafayette. One of the things I always say is that we were only 1 of 4 facilities that had digital mammography in the day throughout the world.
It requires an intensity, it requires excellence that's repeatedly performed in everything that you do. And my dad knows how to make those choices. He's made those choices, and he's helped people around him be better.
Every year, the week after Thanksgiving, there is a meeting in Chicago known as the RSNA, Radiological Society of North America, and they have the best of the best there. When you can walk in the RSNA and you can walk up to 2 different vendor booths and find images from Opelousas General hanging in that booth, it says something about the quality that was being released out of Opelousas General. I think that that defines the leadership and commitment to quality and imaging that Dr. Dugal brought to us.
I would certainly like to thank Opelousas General for this award. It was a real surprise to me when I learned about it, and I really feel honored to accept this. Thank you, Opelousas General.